Hey guys, welcome to the Bourboneering podcast. I'm Austin. Let's get started. So today's a bonus episode. I'm calling it Swill and Chill. I've done one of these already, but I decided to add this one in just because I have some free time. I think y'all have some free time, and hopefully it'll kill some time. But basically, I'm going to answer some listener questions. I have Instagram Live running right now, so I might get some questions from there. Have some questions prepared, and I'm going to review two, maybe if we have time, three Swill bourbons. Today I'm going to be reviewing J.W. Dant, which is a sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon. It's 100 proof. I didn't realize that. The Dant Distillery Company in Bardstown, Kentucky. And then C.H. Bourbon, which is one I hadn't heard of before. Straight bourbon whiskey aged 2 years, 105 proof. So these are actually higher proof. So both of these bottles were donated to me from people in the Bourboneering Bourbon Society. I'm known as the King of Swill. If somebody doesn't like a bottle, they send it to me, and I always love free whiskey. And I like to review them and give them a second chance. Maybe they are awful. We'll find out here. Like I said, I have Instagram Live running right now while I record. So all y'all on Instagram Live, if you have a question, send it my way in the chat, and I'll get to it during this episode, hopefully. Like I said, I have a couple prepared. So I'm gonna start with one question, maybe two, and then get to reviewing some of this bourbon here. So the first question I had was from somebody in the Bourboneering Bourbon Society, a good guy named Rusty. He asked, what bourbon do I get the most crap for liking? And so like I said, in the Bourbon Society, I'm known as the King of Swill. I'm a college student still, so I've definitely had the usual college student swill. And I guess the bourbon I get the most crap for liking, I don't know if you can call it a bourbon, but it's I still enjoy a nice cinnamon whiskey and Coke. Now, not Fireball. I can't have Fireball anymore, but there's like some cinnamon rum I had from Three Roll Estate that's actually pretty good in Coke. Now, it's a lot of Coke, and it's just kind of an easy drink, but that's one I feel like I get the most crap for, being a flavored spirit. Bourbon at Heart has a question. He says, what the worst whiskey you've ever tasted, and be honest? Worst whiskey I've ever tasted. I'm not gonna say Fireball again, because I think that is probably the worst whiskey I've ever tasted. No, there is. So the Baton Rouge Bourbon Society has a barrel pick of Ragged Branch weeded bourbon. I love that one. Don't get me wrong, that's an awesome one. But I had another store pick. It's actually the first Ragged Branch I ever had. It was a store pick. It was weeded. I'm not gonna say the store, but that's the only bourbon that I could not swallow. I don't know what it was. It's awful. I still have the bottle back here, but it's just so bad. I don't know what it is. It tastes like plastic. Straight up Ragged Branch is awful. I haven't had regular Ragged Branch or the regular weeded for that matter. I've only had barrel picks. Like I said, the one I have back here from the Baton Rouge Bourbon Society is fantastic. I love the here you can see the comic book. All the Bourbon Society barrel picks have comic book theme to them. That episode will be coming out this Friday. I have an interview with the president and a couple members of the Baton Rouge Bourbon Society. All right, before we get into too many other questions, I'm going to start reviewing some of these bourbons. I'm going to give them a fair review, and they're going to be in my bracket battle next year, or they're going to be contenders for my bracket battle next March. So, got my Glencairn. I have reviewed Fireball on this show before in a Glencairn, and I got a lot of crap for that, too. All right, so this is J.W. Dant. I can't do the little pop noise that I usually do because it's a screw top. But it is 100 proof, so it's 50% alcohol. I'm not going to pour too much since I have a bunch to review today. Also, things to be looking forward to on the show. I have been filming some coffee tutorials that'll be on the YouTube channel, the videos, how to do pour over coffee. I'm a coffee geek, just like I'm a whiskey geek and a beer geek. So, all right, so this is your J.W. Dant. I'm showing the Instagram Live people, but it's a pretty nice color to it. I mean, I expected it to be lighter. It doesn't have an age, but it's straight, and I don't think it's age stated, so it's got to be at least 4 years old, I think. I think that's how that works. On the nose, corn, but it's not bad. It's definitely light. Just on the nose, I wouldn't say this is 100 proof. It kind of has that light smell of a lower proof. There's not much there. It's really just corn and sugar sweetness. It's not very complex. Wow, that's good. That's it's just about the same as nose, real quick. It's I don't. Oh, it is JW Dant. Bottle of Bond. I did not know that. It doesn't. Oh, it does say it right in the bottle. I'm stupid. Duh. I just can't read apparently. It's sweet and it has that corn taste. There's nothing bad about it. I don't even get a spikiness that I get in like maybe some younger whiskey. There's nothing bad at all. It's just not layered and not that complex. The guy who gave me this bottle, he told me it's like a dirty corn sweetness and it's his guilty pleasure bourbon. I love it. I've had it a couple times before this. I knew I liked it coming into it. This is awesome. This I think we did have this on our bottle and bond battle, James, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's where I got the bottle. Maybe it was a bonus bottle. A little bit of caramel on there, but it's not too terribly complex, but it's good. Like I said, nothing bad about it. Nothing that great and complex about it, but nothing bad about it at all. All right. I'm going to put that away for a second. Cover it with the coaster. All righty. So let's get back to some more questions. Again, send them in if you're just joining the Instagram live, send in your questions. I'll answer them on the show. James, he's at Elvez71 on Instagram. He's also in the Bourbon Society. He's a doctor, y'all. He's working hard right now. He asked, what's the most expensive swill I've bought? So I'm taking that as the biggest disappointment that I've bought. So I've been thinking long and hard about this, and I actually just found it when I redid my shelf. I just reorganized the bourbon shelf, and so I got someone bought me a membership for Flavyar for a year, and they had a special release. This is way early in my bourbon tasting career, and it was a raspberry. It's a raspberry sour beer that was distilled, and I thought that sounded so cool because I was already into craft beer and just getting into whiskey. So I thought, oh man, this is awesome. I gotta try this one out. And first I paid like $40 or $50 for it, thinking I was getting a 750. Again, I don't read apparently, thinking I was getting a full 750 milliliter. No, it came in like a little 200, maybe 375 ounce bottle, bright red, and it tasted like awful. When I said the Ragged Branch was the only thing that I couldn't swallow, this raspberry whiskey was right up there. It was god awful. I still have the bottle if anybody wants it. No, normally I'm the one taking the swill, but it is so bad. And I don't think it's the hops. I've had things with, distilled beers with hops in them, and it's not good, but it's drinkable. This I could not drink. And going back to the Bourbon Heart, your question of what's the worst whiskey I ever had, or someone who asked that question, that might be it. It's between that and that first Ragged Branch bottle. So bad. All right, and James also asked, what's my favorite sub $20 bottle? And right now, this JW Dant's kind of winning, but I can't find it. I've never seen that in the store myself, around here at least. I know some people have it, but it's hard to find. So I'm going to go with this bottle right over here. The Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. It is awesome. I think it's like $15, $16, maybe $18, something like that. Yeah. So James, my nickname on the Baton Bourbon Society is the Coroner. So it's where bad whiskey goes to die. Yeah, I'm drinking some bad stuff for fun, and it's not great. But anyway, this Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is awesome. So this one's darker because it spent some time in my oak bottle, and it actually really helped it out. It's really, really good from the oak bottle, but it didn't need that. It just straight out the bottle is a fantastic sub $20 bourbon. If that's more widely available, I think. So I'm going with the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. If JW Dant's available where you are, I would maybe put that just over that. And I don't even know the price for JW Dant, but I'm pretty sure it's real cheap. Real cheap. In fact, I'm going to go in for another sip of it. Do y'all have any other questions out there on Instagram Live World? If not, I'll move on to my second review here. Yeah, if y'all are in the, I'm about to pour the JW Dan again. If y'all are in the Louisiana area, I definitely suggest it looking into the Baton Rouge Bourbon Society. It is awesome. You'll hear a 2-part episode, one on this Friday and the second part a week from that, where I talk to the president and a couple of the members. Really awesome guys and gals over there. All right, so I'm pouring the CH bourbon. This was also a gift. I've never heard of this nor had it before. I've seen it a few times now that it's been given to me, but it is actually 105 proof, and it's aged 2 years. I don't know where it's from. So the bottle says, "Sure, you can take your chances and buy an expensive bottle of craft whiskey and hope it doesn't taste like crap. Or you can save your hard-earned dollars and give this a shot. We didn't make it, but it's damn good bourbon, and we sell it like crazy at a low price." What the heck? Distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, so I'm pretty sure that's MGP. CH Distillery is in Chicago, Illinois. I don't know anything about them. I guess CH stands for Chicago. I'm not sure, but I have a bottle maker's one. It's not my but I get a recommendation on Balcones True Blue. Oh, okay. So before I get into this review, Whiskey Sailor is asking. He said he or she, I'm sorry, is he bought some Maker's Mark that's really not up his alley, but he wants a recommendations on Balcones True Blue or the Baby Blue. Any thoughts on those? So for me, if you have the choice between the two, definitely go for the True Blue. I believe the main difference is the proof and the age. True Blue is 100 proof, the basic one. I think they have a cask strength too. I love True Blue. It's real oaky. It's a corn whiskey. It's not a bourbon. I believe it's 100% corn. It may not be, but I don't know why they label it as corn whiskey, because for those who don't know, bourbon is at least 51% corn in the mash bill. Corn whiskey, I believe, is the same way, but bourbon has the extra stipulations of things like going into a new charred oak barrel and different things like that, that you don't necessarily have to follow and still be considered corn whiskey. And I don't know, made with blue corn. I don't know why they decided to call it corn whiskey and not bourbon, but it is a corn whiskey technically. I love it. Baby Blue is a little young from tasting to me, and it may be the corn in it. I'm not sure. Like, I have mellow corn back here, which is young, but I love some mellow corn. I might review that later on the show. All right, let's get to this review of the CH bourbon. Color, it's a lot lighter than the JW Dant was. On the nose, I get that banana, almost off flavor that I get in a lot of young whiskey. It's all I'm getting, banana and ethanol. It's not bad on the taste. Definitely young. I get some more, like almost like a jelly, like maybe a strawberry jelly and honey. It's really not bad on the taste. The nose is something to be desired, but the taste is really not that bad. I could definitely drink this. Got some cinnamon. Again, not much there. It's got a little harsh note in the back on the finish that I'm not a huge fan of. But I wouldn't call this bad. I could drink it. In fact, I will drink it. It's very, I like it. I like JW Dant way better, but this is pretty good. So I guess I'll give the JW Dant out on my barrel scale. I'm gonna give it 3 barrels out of 5. It's good. It's, like I said, it's not complex, but it's really good. The CH bourbon, I'm gonna give right at the baseline, drinkable 2.5 barrels. Again, it's drinkable. There's a little bit of harsh notes in the back that I don't like, but it's not bad at all. It'd be good in Coke, good mixed in. All right, do y'all have any more questions out there in Instagram Live? I see my roommate Thomas joined. Hey, Thomas. All right, well, I'm gonna try some mellow corn now. I'm out of Glencairns. This is a glass from Prestige Decanters. Shout out. Get 8% off if you use code Bourboneer. Now, this is one I also get made fun of for liking, mellow corn. It is bottled in bond, so it's at least 4 years old, 100 proof straight corn whiskey. And again, I don't exactly know why they call it corn whiskey and not bourbon. I don't know what rules that it doesn't follow. Hey, there's Rusty. I just answered your question. I'm sorry you missed it. Rusty was the one who asked me earlier what bourbon I get the most crap for liking. And I said anything cinnamon flavored mixed in Coke other than Fireball. But it might be this mellow corn. I love mellow corn. like I don't know what rule Mellow Corn does not follow to be considered bourbon, or if it does follow all the rules, they just decided to call it corn whiskey. That's like Tennessee whiskey can be considered bourbon, but it follows that extra rule to be called Tennessee whiskey, so a lot of times they won't call it bourbon. The bad thing about these Swill and Chill episodes is I don't have any good cork pops for y'all. All right, this is not the best tasting glass, so take that into account. Sweet corn, definitely sweet corn. Like a can of sweet corn. Or corn you get from Piccadilly. Y'all ever had Piccadilly corn? Oh, Whiskey Sailor asks, any thoughts on Blanton's? Would that be a great one to start with? Blanton's is hard to find in the U.S. for no unknown reasons. It's good. I enjoy it. And I'll get a bottle anytime I can, as long as it's relatively around retail. I wouldn't go crazy for it. But if you can get your hands on it, and Whiskey Sailor, I believe you're in Europe, correct? If you are, then you have more releases than we do. There's, I think, Straight from the Barrel and then Blanton's Gold, which I've never had personally, but I hear is fantastic. So if you can get your hands on those, definitely get that. But, I mean, it's a good place to start. If you can get your hands on it for retail, I like it. I think it's good to go with. It's not a weeder like your Maker's Mark you have. So it's a little more floral to me. Norway, okay. So you should be able to get somewhere, at least in your market somewhere, they should have those Blanton's releases that you can't get here in the U.S. And if you do get those, let me know what you think, because I'm curious. All right, so this Mellow Corn, like I said, sweet Piccadilly corn on the nose. I'm going to start using that more often, probably. Oop, about to spill it all over my computer. And that carries through on the taste. It's more like a cinnamon flavor, but a lot of corn. And I really like that. It's weird. I understand why people don't like it, but I love it. Yeah, so James mentioned in the chat for Whiskey Sailor, Elijah Craig Small Batch and Eagle Rare are great starter bourbons. I agree. If you can get those are great to start with. But even Buffalo Trace, even a little bit under Eagle Rare. I really love Buffalo Trace. What else is a good starter bourbon? Well, let me look back here. Now, if you want to try another weeder, I really like Larceny. I like it better than Maker's Mark. I don't know its availability in Europe, but this bottle here, Larceny, it's pretty cheap. It's like $22, and I love it. I can drink it all day. They have a barrel proof, which I really like too, but you can't beat the value of Larceny. Yes, so Buffalo Trace has, I think, two different high rye mash bills, a weeded mash bill, and I think that's about it. But all their products fall in there. Evan Williams single barrel is great. I have that as well. Yes, Wild Turkey 101. I love it. Now it is, it's 101 proof. You know whiskey, so you're fine with the proof, I guess. But I find 100 proof bourbon feels a lot hotter than 100 proof Scotch. And that's not a fair statement, but I find that mostly, like I have the classic Lottie here at 100 proof, and then I'll take a Bottle and Bond JW Dant side by side. I would think the Berglotic is like 40 proof when it comes to the burn. Ooh, Old Grandad. Y'all are naming some great ones. Like I said, I don't know what the European market looks like. I don't know what's easy to find and what's not. Wild Turkey is a great one. Again, careful of the proof. It's going to be hot, even if you're used to cask strength whiskey. If it's Scotch, you might want to be careful when you go into higher proof bourbons. Now, yeah, Whiskey Sailor, she posts a lot of great bottles of Scotch and different things that I can't get around here, at least not easily. Yeah, y'all know more. You listen to the chat. Y'all know more than I do. Mellow Corn. How's this rating? That's good. Heaven hell yeah. As soon as you mentioned Beam Bourbon and Heart, I was reading that as I was tasting this Mellow Corn, and I got that peanut butterness I get in a lot of Beam products, which is weird. That's why I had to double check it's a Heaven Hill product. What's your thoughts on 7-3 Irish Channel? I actually haven't had that. I haven't picked up any of their stuff. I've thought about it, but I've never pulled the trigger on it. I saw Low Cup Cartel guy. I just watched your video on Sugarfield. We love those guys at the Bourboneering Bourbon Society. I have an episode on my podcast. I just re-released it, but a few weeks ago I interviewed Andrew on the show. Great guy, great stuff they're doing over there. They're doing, if y'all don't know, the Sugarfield Spirits, they're doing great things right now. They were doing great things before all this pandemic happened, but now they've turned their process into making hand sanitizer for people and giving it away. And they're selling their bottles at great prices. They make amazing rum. They source some great bourbon. I can't say enough about those guys. In fact, the only bottle I have left from them, actually, because I've been drinking a lot of it, is the coffee liqueur. I usually been mixing their bourbon and the coffee liqueur. Now I'm out of the bourbon. Mellow corn is a straight corn. At least 80% corn. Okay. And once used bourbon barrels, which goes against bourbon rules. Right. Okay. Now, James, so the 80% corn is a legal definition of corn whiskey? And the same thing about the used bourbon barrels. Is that a legal definition for corn whiskey, or is that just what mellow corn does that kicks it out of the bourbon category? There's not much on the bottle. Like I said, mellow corn doesn't have anything on it's 100 proof for sure. Thanks for listening, guys. Next time, I'm going to get some more questions, get some more swill to drink, and we'll just hang out and chill. Let me know if you like this kind of episode. See y'all next time. Cheers. Thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you subscribe on whichever player you're using. Leave a comment and leave a 5-star review if you can. Once you've done that, go follow me on Instagram at Bourboneering or on Twitter at InBourbon, or go like our Facebook page, Bourboneering. All this, as well as my Prestige Decanter affiliate link and a link to sign up for a weekly newsletter, are all below. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cheers.